Hello, my name is Mike Dixon, and in this video we're going to explore the differences between a hunt test or field golden and a confirmation golden. In today's video we will explore the differences between a field trial or hunt test golden and a confirmation golden. And we're going to take the opportunity. I have Ollie here. Ollie would say is your typical field-bred golden retriever. And Bridger here is your typical confirmation golden retriever. And it's nice we have both of them here with us today. They're buds, they're hanging out. And so we figured we'd make a quick video. There's a lot of information that is just not very informative on YouTube, and so I figured, given my years of experience, I would share my thoughts, anecdotal as they are. Just quickly, the breed golden retriever was developed in Scotland by Sir Dudley Majorbanks, I believe, and he was breeding setters, Tweed water spaniel, and flat-coated retrievers, and he ended up getting a golden dog, and then somewhere along the line he got a breeding pair, Nos, and Bell, and those are our first golden retrievers. That is where the origin goes back to anyways. And then in the early 19th century there was a club founded in England, and they started confirmation shows and hunt test competitions, and that's where the breeders started selecting the different traits that they wanted in the dogs. And so that's the origin of the golden retriever. That's where they all started. I will be displaying pictures while I'm talking here, and it's surprising how little, but also how different the dogs are today from way back then. So again, in the early 1900s, breeders started selecting for different traits. Less fur on a field golden, generally a little bit thinner bone structure. Generally, again, these are broad, but generally they're a little smaller than a confirmation dog, because the breeders are not selecting necessarily for a given weight range. You know, what they're selecting for is performance characteristics of a hunting dog. Confirmation dogs are selected for basically a relatively strict guidelines: weight, height, eyes, set, muzzle, length, teeth configuration, coat for sure, gait, and also kind of the willingness to be touched and handled in the show ring. They're judged on all those things. I will say that one thing that gets missed over a lot that I see is that what you're really looking for in a hunting golden and is prey drive. You know, you hear a lot of fast or sportier. You know, those things are true, but both dogs, you know, are athletic and like to run and play and retrieve. But the prey drive, the desire to pursue and retrieve game, is a little stronger in the field or hunt test type dogs, hunting dogs, and that's really the big difference. I mean, as far as their behaviors go, and that prey drive is what we use to incentivize hunt test dogs to work hard and learn a lot of new skills, because the reward for them isn't, you know, treats and necessarily praise, which are great, but what they really want is to retrieve game and pursue game. Confirmation dogs, they can have that as well, but generally, like I said, the selection for a hunt test or field golden retriever has been more for, yes, the physical traits for sure. Ultimately, what they want is the high prey drive. My personal experience, I've had both types of dogs, and about 38 years ago, I got my first Golden Retriever. I always wanted one when I was younger, and got my own place, and found one in the newspaper, and went down on a farm and got a sweet little red Golden Retriever, named him Boone, and brought him home, and really didn't know much about what I was doing with dogs. But of course, you know, that's what I wanted, so that's what I got. Bridger here is our first, well, champion. He is a conformation champion, and also he's a canine good citizen, and he's a good boy sit. And you know, and he's a winner. So it's interesting participating in those dog shows and seeing the interactions of the handlers, and getting to know all the things that go on at dog shows versus the hunt test. Most of my time has been spent in the hunt test world with my Goldens, and anecdotally, I can say that the hunt test bred, field-bred Goldens are a little easier to train. They take to it faster. They seem to enjoy the work a little bit more. They have a little bit more tolerance for weather and heat and things like that. But that's not to say anything that the conformation dogs can't do it. There is a reason why that it's not as much fun sometimes to hunt with a conformation dog, and that is really because of their coat. And we'll take a look at that when I put the two dogs up on the table here individually. But the coat is remarkably different, and that is a selection. I mean, the field hunt test dogs here have been selected for coats that are much easier to maintain, and really get the burrs out, things like that. One thing I want to talk, probably a key point. Hey, sit down. One thing, and one of the reasons I made this video, and I don't hear a lot of people talking about it when I see these videos pop up on my feed, is that I've only had one litter of pups, and but you hear things, you know, about health, and that, oh, these dogs are healthier than those dogs, or you know, or these dogs are better behaved or easier to train, all those kind of things. While it is true that a field-bred dog is going to have more energy and desire to do things outside, for sure. They can be very sweet, and they're friendly to be around. They can be therapy dogs, and all those kind of good things that you can do with a conformation dog. The health thing, you know, I had people coming to me saying, I want a field-bred dog, but I'm not going to hunt, and I'm not going to do. I just want a healthier dog, or I want a red dog, you know, because red dogs hunt better, you know, and that is just not true. That's just a coat color. What we need to do as buyers of Golden Retrievers, there's a website that I use. It's called Canine Data. I'll put a link to it, and also some pictures. But what you need to do when you're looking to buy a Golden Retriever and you're concerned about health is go through the Canine Data and see the 5 generation of history, how long the dogs have lived. You know, are they average for Golden Retrievers? And do they have all their health certificates? And I mean, that's really the deciding factor, is the selection, not just of the characteristics for hunting, but is the breeder selecting for health too. And that's important. And that should be your deciding factor. You know, if it's a blonde dog or a gold dog or a red dog, they can all be healthy. They can all hunt really well. So just don't get too hung up on coat color. It's just something that's selected. And some of us prefer red, some prefer blonde. I've had Goldens with all colors, and I've had good working dogs of all colors. So, and the health is, you know, I've had a dog that lived very old, and I've had a red dog that died around 8 or 9. So that's not really a good benchmark to use for judging health. So again, I'll put a link to canine data, and then I'll also, as I'm talking here, I'll put up a picture of what you see when you're looking at a health certificates for a dog, you know, and the things that you should be looking for in a healthy pup. Make sure that all their health certificates have been taken care of by the breeder. Like I said, I'll put these guys up on a bench, and then we'll go through them just a little bit quickly. But okay, so first we're going to take a look at a field golden, and just take a quick look at the differences in the physical structure of the dog. Again, obviously he's leaner, not quite as heavy. For sure, he's probably running 55 pounds or something like that, whereas our boy Bridger's around 75. And thinner in general. He's got a thinner, still handsome, but thinner face, but just a lot less fur is really the big thing. Other than the prey drive that we discussed, the fur, it's a huge difference, especially for a hunting dog. Clean up at the end of the day when you want to, not only the desire to pursue game, of course he's got that in spades, but the cleaning up the burrs and dirt and dust off of him, there's going to be a lot less at the end of the day as far as maintenance goes. But this is pretty typical build for a really nice field golden. And again, he's super sweet. He's a great pet. Not only would he be great for hunting, but he'd be great for rally or any of those other dog sports that we love to play. Super obedient, very friendly. All he has is canine good citizen. He's a good boy, and so it kind of just gives you a general overview of the field dog. You know, you can see kind of a little bit of a less profile here in the notch between his forehead and his muzzle. Thinner head, smaller bone structure, lighter, and a little bit more of an athletic, kind of speedy build. Good boy. You did so good. Okay, stack. Okay, so this is our boy Bridger, and he is a conformation dog. You can see, I mean, much denser, thicker coat, requires a lot more maintenance, a lot more shedding. If you look at his head, you can see this nice notch here. And then of course you saw his face. He's got a nice blocky head and eyes are kind of set wide apart. As far as the structure, his gait, all those things are conformation quality. Like I said, he does have his championship. One of the biggest things about, he's got the correct tail. It's not curled up. But the fur on this guy, you know, if you're running an organized hunt test that's in a relatively clean area as far as cockleburrs and stuff go, you know, you'll be fine. Brush him out at the end of the day. He'll love to swim, and all that stuff is fine. Might not be as fast as our Ollie boy, but he'll still get the job done. This fur, though, if you're hunting on a public land or something like that up in Wisconsin, or the burrs are going to be terrible. Okay, and anyone who says anything different is lying. They've never had to clean it out. I mean, they'll get burrs so bad that they can't walk. Okay, so you just need to keep that in mind. That's the truth. I mean, they'll have burrs all over, and this is called an apron. And I mean, it's beautiful, long mane, flowing mane. This will just be full because of crashing through the brush to get to birds and stuff. So this is just going to be full of burrs, and you're going to need to clean all that out. So you have to you know, it'll happen once, and then that'll be probably the last time that you do that. So it is a real thing. Still can hunt, all that stuff. Still can play the game, but you kind of want to be more specific about where you let them go and what you let them get into, what kind of terrain you're hunting them in. Bigger bone, so you know, gonna be drinking more water. Obviously, is going to be more likely to get overheated quicker than our boy Ollie. You still got to watch that with all dogs. You can, I mean, a hunting dog will run till they die, literally. But yeah, this dog's going to get a little bit hotter quicker, but still very athletic for a big guy. He runs fast and super fast, and he's a good pup. If you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel, and it helps me figure out what we should be shooting videos of. If you have any comments, or if there's anything you'd like to see me do as far as golden retrievers and hunting dogs or conformation dogs, I'd be glad to do it. I enjoy doing this, so thank you, and have a good day.